Riverside.
It's all like hello's the Twitch. It's all like hello's YouTubes. So
Let me get
YouTubes.
to YouTube's. I'll be monitoring the YouTube today.
Oh, look at you.
Hello, YouTube. Hello, Twitch. Hello, everybody.
Hello, podcasting, networking hosts everywhere.
Yep, this is the Bay Podcast, your home for
The
whatever the bullshit is that this is.
yeah, yeah. It's just your home.
It is. It is your home. I have two words to say. I'm home.
I'm home, guys.
For fuck's sake.
Wait, hell
That
froze over?
hell froze over. Like hell freezing over, I am Earl Grey Trey. I apologize if my voice is kind of shot. I just did a CAT scan before this about an hour ago, so we're here. Speaking of being shot, there's somebody here that wants to be shot right now because his job runs him into the ground. That's Mr. Buzz Carlton. Hello, Buzz.
uh, First of all, very accurate. Very accurate.
Yeah,
Second,
I
good to
know.
be here. Good to be here.
It's good to have you. Good to see you're surviving.
I'm surviving.
It honestly feels like a million years since the last time we've talked.
I know. It's all like, what the hell? It's all like, it's all like, it seems, it does. It seems like, it seems like one day is an eternity. So give it like a couple of weeks, and boy, that's like centuries.
I don't know about you, but I'm really feeling this holiday season. Like I think this is the first time where it's really taking a toll on me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm sort of in the same boat. That like the crap started early this year. Like it started way too early, and it's mentally and physically exhausting. And and it's not even December yet. That's the problem.
Oh shit, yeah, you're right. That's
Scary to
Friday.
think about, right?
Yeah.
So like though I can't December 1st does need to get here because I bought one of them their Pokemon advent calendars. So like each day get to open up, and I think that there's like little packs of cards in there or something. Then I can woo, you know,
Oh,
or
cool.
or
All right.
or
So you're
yeah,
gonna get cards or whatever. Like maybe
cards
you
or
get like
whatever
Pogs.
Pokemon. Yeah. So like, yeah, hey, if they come out with the Pogs one, I'd totally be on board with that. So like, you're old if you remember the Pogs.
Get some Pokemon Crazy Bones and just like start chucking them at people. You know.
It's a crazy bones style. The crazy Cubones. Oh,
The, fucking hell. Crazy Cubones.
hell yeah.
You can find us always on Facebook.com/The Bay Podcast. We're at The Bay Podcast on Twitter, Twitch.tv /The Bay Podcast. And on YouTube, we are at The Bay Podcast. So you have to put the at symbol, then The Bay
Yes.
Podcast to find us there.
They're very
We are
finicky
everywhere.
about that. So,
Yeah, they are. Um, YouTube,
Delic, yeah.
nice people. Very nice people.
Very nice people. Very, very, very
Pieces
good.
of greatness.
So, like, the greatness is shining so
I,
bright.
for one, welcome our YouTube overlords.
We
But
yeah.
do you ever feel like, maybe YouTube's just ran by a bunch of robots at this point?
So like I've had suspicion. With the advancements of AI now, every moment, I think, is this like just a bunch of robots, or is there actually people behind this? Like that thought is now always in my mind.
Yeah.
So
That's why right after this, Buzz told me he's going to go out and buy a robot wife. Um,
unfortunately, the delivery's been delayed. So damn it. Oh, no.
I know. I know. It's terrible trying to get things shipped from Kentucky to Michigan. I'm telling you. It's the
So
worst.
Kentucky Fried, I tell you, Kentucky bread. Oh.
Kentucky Fried Waifu. Exactly the way Buzz likes it.
So like so like it clogs the arteries and kills you faster. So like how it goes.
Buzz is like, oh, killing me faster. You're
Killing me
talking my
faster.
language.
It's all like that's my form of killing me faster. Oh,
And
no,
then, of
dang.
course, remember you could always follow us and chat live. We have the YouTube open. I'm actually monitoring both rooms right now, so
It's all like as so far all quiet on the western front here for sure. But yeah, I mean
we'll make sure we shout you out here.
yes,
Leave us a 5-star review, by the way, on Spotify, Amazon, podcasts, Apple Podcasts, things like that.
definitely
We will
helps.
love you forever. We will love
Yes,
you forever.
we will. Like and when we mean forever, we mean forever.
We
Like
didn't mean forever.
like even after we die, we'll still love you. You know, like forever is forever.
And I will always love you.
You.
All right, Survivor Series 2023, Buzz. That happened.
It did. It happened with a bang. It's all like not just that, but apparently the highest grossing, highest attendant, highest everything Survivor Series of all time here. So so and spoiler alert, our truth is back. Yes. Woo!
Archer's this back.
I love that man. Our truth is the man. I don't care what anybody says. It's all like, but we had Survivor Series War Games.
War Games.
War Games. It's all like, and I will say, right off the bat, overall, it was a fun event, and I'm just talking about the matches itself. I thought it was a fun event right there, like in itself there. So this is gonna be a good one. Live in Chicago, Illinois. Whoa.
Yeah, so it happened in Chicago. Nothing big happens, in Chicago ever.
Yeah, I mean Chicago's not really a wrestling city, right? It's just sort of
Girl and
sort of
I
there.
actually
Oh,
we had a
no.
big conversation about this on Saturday on how they have burned out the Chicago crowd.
Oh, like the Chicago crowd is just all like, okay, we've had a lot of wrestling lately, and we just can't take it anymore, huh? No.
They have had a lot of wrestling.
I mean, it's been sort of like AEW's headquarters for since its inception. So a lot of their big events are in Chicago, and a lot of wrestling events do like. I mean, because you can't deny that, and all the wrestlers, when you listen to their like interviews and stuff like that, they always say there's nothing like wrestling in that Chicago arena. Like they always say, "What's your favorite place to?" There's something about that Chicago crowd, that Chicago arena that it's all like. So, I mean, it is the wrestling capital. It's all like a one of the world, and definitely in the United States.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the fact is, you have like AEW running 10 100 million events over there
Yeah,
or over here. You have WWE who's like, oh yeah, they're pretty cool. We're gonna just run events there too.
yeah,
So
and not just
with
any
that
event,
being,
but a big major pay-per-view like Survivor Series. So
yeah, yeah. With that being said, though, I mean, you have all these events going on in Chicago. You're eventually gonna get burned out from the crowd.
yeah, it's all like unless you do something really crazy. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that too much of anything is not good. So there you do have to moderate it to an extent. You can't just be like, okay, we're going to Chicago, because eventually, yeah, like even a hardcore's be like, okay, whoa, let's pull it back a little bit there, like because a lot of it is also like basically similar stuff. If it's the same company, it's the same show. You see a lot of similar stuff. So, I'm not saying that like you need to utilize that Chicago crowd. Yes, especially for big things. I get it, but you do need to also expand your base as well. And if you're hunkered down in Chicago, like it's the same people, the same like Chicago's great. I'm not saying that, but like you said, like eventually, it's all like, okay, we might need a break here. We need to calm down. we need,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, you guys need to relax with
just
everything.
relax. Now I get why Survivor Series, this particular one was in Chicago because they threw a little swerve ball at, during this pay per view that I guess kept that Chicago crowd invigorated throughout the night, though.
Yes, Randy Orton.
Yes. Oh, that was. I know we'll get to that match, but I just want when I saw him, that made me so happy. I was all like, I'm so happy that he's okay. Like I'm so happy. Like, and it looked like he was in good spirits. He was looking jacked as hell, man. He was looking really good. Like, holy crap, Randy Orton was looking really good. Like, first of all, he hasn't missed a damn step. He never missed a beat. The dude's a natural. I love Randy Orton, and I think he's in a good spot right now.
Oh yeah, and Crow and I were talking about it earlier, and I'll ask you the same. I'll pose you the same question. How often do you think about Randy Orton actually retiring? Do you even think about it?
I I don't, and I'll tell you why. Because it just seems like I think I thought about his retirement a couple years, even prior to this injury, like years ago, and then it hit me to the point where I think he loves it too much. Like he's one of the few that never went away. He didn't go on to do other projects like Hollywood or football or singing or whatever it is that they do, or modeling or whatever it is people do after wrestling or during their wrestling career, because a lot of people use their wrestling career to catapult them to the next stage. For Randy, he's a wrestler. He's never denied being a wrestler. They even threw him in a couple of movies in the WWE studios, but he never left. He never said, "Okay, I'm going to Hollywood now. I'm not. I'll come back to wrestle." He stayed the whole time. He's one of the most consistent people in the game as far as how old he is, how long he's been there, and how long he's consistently been there. So I think the thought of the fact, like the reason why I don't think about his retirement is because he's always there for he's always there. Like I think a part of me doesn't want to think of the day that he's not there anymore. Like because Randy Orton's been a consistent force in wrestling since 2003. So I don't
Yeah,
think about his retirement. Yeah,
I think it's also it goes back to a lot of what the Miz said, and that people like him, people like Randy Orton, they have move sets that aren't going to be flashy, but you had the moves that get the crowd going, and it's more about longevity than anything.
that is very
Like
true.
your Matt and Nick Jacksons, your Kenny Omega. We saw it with Kenny already.
Yeah,
He had like you know 10 plus injuries before he had to take his hiatus
yeah.
for almost an entire year. You don't get that with Randy. You don't get that with Miz. Like they have a safe style, and that's going to allow them to work however long they want to work. And I think that also kind of precludes right on over to our other return of the night. Let's just get right to it.
Yeah.
Do you have a graphic queued up for him?
I can get one really fast here.
Okay, because I think that is the biggest.
It's all like, and I think what really got me, was the fact that it happened after I saw the credit logo on there.
Hunter did it.
Yeah, like he got the credit logo on there, so I was all like, oh, okay, well, this was a fun match, and that's when I was chatting to you. I was all like, well, that was fun, and then all of a sudden, you know, it it happened, and my first thought was, no, they didn't. Like I literally like I screamed it. I was like, no, they didn't. Like, and it was one of them things where you were hearing the music, but I wasn't believing it until I actually saw him like come out.
Yep.
Like I saw like, oh, okay, anybody can play music. But nonetheless, here we go. For those of you watching via Twitch and or YouTube, this
I'm
is
waiting
who
for
we're
our truth.
talking about it right here.
I'm waiting for our truth.
Oh no, I didn't do the art truth. I didn't do it.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm
There he
sorry.
is. There he is.
There he is.
Back in a
Hell
WWE
has frozen
arena.
over.
CM Punk has returned to the WWE. The implications on this, I don't think, can be stated enough. It's been 9 years.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, and here's where you can agree or disagree with me. CM Punk says he's changed. Hunter says the WWE has changed.
Very true.
I don't think anybody's really looking at this as, CM Punk. They're not comparing CM Punk from 9 years ago when he left WWE in 2014.
No, yeah.
They're comparing CM Punk to 13 weeks ago
Yeah. With us falling out with AEW.
when he got fired because he got into a backstage fight.
Yeah.
Now, as much as you want to say it about CM Punk in AEW, let's face it, he wasn't coming back. There
Yeah.
was no way he was coming back. I mean, we joke about, I joked he's going to be the devil. Just watch.
Yeah.
At this point, with all the backstage altercations, with what happened at All Out 2022, 22,
Yeah, it
right?
was 22. Yeah, because you got to remember,
All
this is
Out,
the second time he got let go from AEW.
yeah, All Out 2022. With that backstage fight, if you brought him back, that would essentially be like giving somebody a loaded handgun and just kind of, being turning around and going, "Oh,
Just,
here you go, just
yeah,
shoot me,"
just do it. Yeah.
because Punk was very much a powder keg. And I think that's what people are like wondering in WWE. Everything is reported to be cordial. Everybody was happy to see him. That's all legitimate. He talked about that on Monday on Raw.
Yeah.
However, it's a 3-year contract.
Well, yeah, what will change in
Buzz,
3 years? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Buzz.
Yeah.
Not what will change. Do you think he will last the 3-year contract
And
with WWE?
giving past, giving past experiences, especially recently, I wouldn't bet. I wouldn't bet on it because we also got to remember, like when he debuted in AEW in what 2021 was it? So like in those things, like I'm happy for the first time. I feel like wrestling spark is back. Like, and then a year later he's talking about oh this place is run by a bunch of kids. This just happened in a span of a year from 2011 to I'm happy to be here. Oh, it's so exciting. The next chapter of my life. Pro wrestling's fun again. To I hate these people. So we're getting that again. We're getting the honeymoon phase again. I'm happy to be here. I'm home. I'm home. But where are we in a year? you know,
Yeah,
like, is he finally, as far as WWE, like going to respect the fact that it's run differently? Because this is run differently. This ain't. I mean, and at this point, nobody is going to doubt Triple H's booking abilities. He's proven himself that when given the realm, he can put on some damn good shows. And when Triple H says I'm not the same person 10 years ago, like that we can believe that because we've seen it. We've seen Triple H's change, and we've seen what he's done for the wrestling business. We've basically forgiven him for all the crap he did in the early 2000s, like when he was the shovel man burying a lot of talent, because now he's created a lot of talent. He's a so the question we got to ask ourselves with CM Punk is, like, is I'm great. I'm glad that things are going great now. I'm glad that there at least seems like they've buried the hatchet. But what happens if there's a crossroad that gets hit? What happens if you know does CM Punk work with it? Or does he do what he's been doing and start disrupting things? Like I'd like to tend to give him the benefit of the doubt that he seems like okay, he's in a better place now because WWE is definitely not AEW. It's not run the same way. It's run differently, for better or for worse. And WWE is not even WWE anymore. This is not Vince. Because if this was Vince McMahon's WWE, there's no way CM Punk's back anyway. This is Endeavor's WWE now, so maybe it's different. And maybe he's also utilizing that for other connections because this is not just the WWE anymore. This is a conglomerate that owns the WWE. So there's a lot more avenues on top of that. But also at the same time, it's all like this is creatively different because, like I said, this is not Vince McMahon's show anymore. This is now Endeavor, and they gave the key to Triple H or Paul Levesque, whatever you want to call him these days. It's all like Paul runs the show now, and it seems like at least on camera they've buried the hatchet, and Triple H seems sincere and like everybody seems to be excited. I've changed, he's changed, everybody's changed, the company's changed, like, and whether this was a mistake or not, business wise, this was a huge decision. Why? Everybody's talking about Survivor Series. Everybody's talking about WWE now. Everybody's talking about CM Punk. So WWE and CM Punk just made off like bandits because everybody's talking about him now. Everybody, like, all eyes are on this now. So they've got the eyeballs. Now we just got to see if this turns out to be the start of a beautiful, everlasting relationship or another powdered keg with a fuse that'll go off at any time again,
Yeah, and I think that Punk is going to be on his best behavior for at least the first few months, but that's a conscious effort.
Yeah.
That's a conscious effort on his part, for better or worse. He's gonna, do that. However, I feel at this point we've seen enough of what he's like to kind of know that he is a very passionate person.
Yes, and
He
he's not
loves
afraid. Yeah,
professional wrestling.
he does. We will never take that away from him.
Yeah, and he will confront people. If somebody pisses him off in WWE, who's to say he's not, going to go off on them?
Yeah,
We hope not.
we hope not. We hope that if he does have a problem, um, that he goes to the right people and say, "Hey, can you do like it's all about handling it. Like we've all had those coworkers that it's all like that just cause trouble, can't stand it, but there's a right way and a wrong way to deal with it. Like CM Punk just needs to let authority know, not necessarily Triple H, but anybody in authority. Hey, this, and this. I've got a grievance. But at the end of the day, just do your job, and see. Now, if the authorities actively ignore it, then maybe you got a beef. But he's just got to learn how to handle it the right way. We do know that he's not afraid to speak his mind. He's not afraid, and he doesn't pull any punches. So, but it's structured there. Like WWE is still a well-structured company. Like like so you just follow the structure. It might not be as what is it, autocratic as it once was, where like Vince drops the hammer. There might be a little bit more wiggle, and I think another thing that I think that'll play into CM Punk's hand is sort of the flexibility of creative, where it's not just a stern, strict system. They're going back as far as their creative wise back to the attitude type era, where it's not just you got to stick to the script. It's just talk about this, and you have some flexibility to do this. If you need a script, we're here for you. We will help you. But if you're good, just almost like the bullet point stuff again. So I think that'll play into his hand a little bit more. Where I want this to work. I really do. I wanted him to work in AEW. I want this to work. I hope, but this was a risky decision because his reputation is he's a locker room cancer. Like he's got that stigma, but sometimes when you got that stigma in one locker room, just like in sports, you got that stigma of, like a kicker always missing the field goals. Well, sometimes all you need is a change in location and a fresh start. Maybe this is his fresh start. This is his second chance. This is his chance to prove, okay, yeah, I've made some mistakes in AEW. That was because I felt they were immature. They weren't handling it. They were, blah blah blah. This is his chance to say, see, I can work with people, like if given the right structure. So I'm rooting for him. I hope that he truly is happy, he's truly changed, and that he truly feels that he's at home and that this ain't just I'm acting good now until the honeymoon wears off type situation.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna be optimistic for now. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take it as this is a good get for WWE.
yeah,
I think even though Tony Khan sold out Wembley, and this is coming from a person who buys every AEW pay per view.
yes, yeah. And we've watched pretty much
Triple
all of
A,
them, yeah.
Triple H is the promoter of the year,
Yes.
and he put on a hell of a show at Survivor Series. One thing to get on with for Punk before we get into Survivor Series, I just wanted to talk about the promo on Monday. I don't know if you had time to see it yet.
I have officially watched Monday Night Raw and I have heard
Okay.
his promo. Yes.
Okay. The fact is that he is doing, I mean, right off the bat, he's doing great character work
Yeah.
because he has this promo, very very generic babyface,
Yeah.
but at the end of it, like he stops talking, his theme song's running. He looks at the camera and goes, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money." It's kind of like, okay, there's that crack
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was all like, oh boy. It's all like, there he is. It's all like, it was subtle though. It was just so subtle.
I I think that's intentionally planted. I think that this is gonna be a thing of remember TNA 2010 2011 when they were coming and Sting was like, "Don't trust Hulk Hogan
Oh, yeah.
because he's gonna stab you in the back."
Yeah.
I feel like Seth Rollins is Sting right now.
It's all like, okay, yeah, like everybody's all like, oh, you're happy that CM Punk is here, but he's gonna knife you in the back the first moment he gets. So, yeah, because Seth Rollins right off the bat, obviously the videos that you saw of him like freaking out at CM Punk, and then of course on Raw when they were CM Punk, get it out of your system because I'm not wasting another breath on that hypocrite. Like he's already planting the seeds, and um, first of all, I am now 100% convinced that all of that was a work. With that being said, Seth Rollins did an amazing job because for a while there I was like, wait, is this a work or not? Like there's no doubt that Seth Rollins is the guy for
Yeah,
sure. You
yeah.
know,
You know how I knew it was a work was, did you see who was holding him back?
I believe it wasn't it Michael Cole.
If it was a shoot, do you think that Michael Cole would be able to hold back Seth Rollins?
Okay, that's very true. Yeah, there's no way. Like I love Michael Cole, but compared to that, like he'd be
He's
roadkill.
jacked too. Michael Cole's jacked, but he's skinny jacked.
Yeah, he's getting like Seth Rollins is core jacked. Like there's a lot of
Yeah,
core strength
he
there.
does like his CrossFit shit and like
Yeah,
he does weird stuff and he has kids. Damn it.
it's all like yes, he's got kids. Damn it, no. But yeah, because it was Michael Cole holding him back. Like so, it's clear to me that that they've got something planned. Obviously, with well now Rollins has a thing with I guess Drew again or something. So Drew smacked him on Raw, but we know that this is leading up to that Seth Rollins CM Punk. Of course, CM Punk also made uh, some loose comments about the wise man. A wise man once said, "It's all like so." It makes me wonder. So I know he's technically on Raw, but does he confront Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns down the road as well? Like, there's so many options. Of course, we got Randy Orton, but like, it. I think Triple H said it best. I can't wait to see what happens. There's a lot of possibilities going on right now, and he's got his work cut out for him because there's a lot of different ways that this company can go at this point as far as story wise with Punk, with now the returning Randy Orton, with of course, Seth Rollins being Seth Rollins on the other brand, it's all like, and I'm sure we've got other returns coming up in time for the Royal Rumble. We still got Jade Cargill on deck, working out the greenness that they feel is there so that she's absolutely 100% ready. Of course, we've got AJ Styles, I'm sure, on deck. Like, it's going to be an interesting time in the WWE. They've got that depth now, and at the same time, they've got that whole NXT crop that they can bring up for the Royal Rumble as well, like Carmelo Hayes ready to go, Braun Breaker ready to go. It's all like, and so much more. So this is going to be an exciting
Excuse
time.
me, Buzz. You were missing the key person.
It's all
Uh,
like, oh, there's that Von Wagner guy too.
there you go. Yeah, he
He's
went
gonna
to
go
Robert
number
Stone's
one and go
house.
all the way, right?
He will perform surgery.
He will. Yes, he is. Yeah, and you're right. He was at Doctor Stone's house. I did not see today's NXT, but I know last week he was chatting with the Stone kids there. It's all like Robert Stone's house and all that, and he's gonna beat up some bullies or something for the kids there. So that's nice. Von Wagner will beat up your kids' bullies.
Yes, he
uh,
will.
he will.
Vanny Wagner is the best.
It's all like you gotta love him. It's all like, but it's exciting time. Survivor Series opened up a lot of avenues, and you know, like, and of course, AEW on the other hand, they've got some new like the signing of Will Ospreay now, and I'm sure they've got more, you know, bullets in their chamber for the club to go. Now, the only thing that AEW has a problem with is they did Jay White dirty. That's all. So like they did him dirty, but other than that, it's an exciting time to be a wrestling fan, and for you tribalism losers out there, you can go ahead and seclude yourself to one brand. I am on the side of wrestling, and I'm enjoying everything.
Yeah, for all you tribalists out there, I just want to say, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here's the thing. You could like one brand, you could like the other. That's fine. You could prefer one over the other. On a weekly basis, I kind of prefer AEW. I feel like it moves a little bit quicker than WWE.
Yes,
But
that's
I'm
for
a
sure.
I'm also a WWE fan, and I'm not gonna miss their product either. But if you're gonna wish for a company to fail and people to be put out of work, yeah, you could go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
That's just not the way to go.
So, like, you're not only not a wrestling fan, but you're hardly a human being wishing for the misery of others at that point.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh.
I just don't think that these people know. I don't think that they've ever fucking like really got laid or anything, Buzz. I think that
That's possible. That's
they're
possible.
all one hand on X, the other hand's on their dick, just jerking it. So
So, like,
here we are.
maybe that's it. Maybe that's their problem.
Yeah, yeah. half of them jerk it to hope AEW fails. The other half are listening to Cornette.
Yeah, and it does get like it's just crazy. Yeah, Cornette's definitely the cult leader of the problem of wrestling. That group of wrestling fans for sure. But it's just sad because when you close yourself off from one company, like completely, and like you're just missing out on so much. And wrestling is just so exciting right now. Like to say, well, that place sucks just because it's that place. No, it doesn't. It's actually very good. We want more wrestling companies because more wrestling companies equal competition. More competition equals everybody's going to be at their best, you know?
Yeah, and we want everybody at their
We
best.
want everybody at their best, and we want wrestlers to have options. If they're not happy in one place, they go to another, you know? Simple as that.
Yeah, and so a report came out this week by Nick Hausman of House of Wrestling. He pretty much said that WWE's gone on record as saying they're doing the whole WCW thing to AEW, and I kind of see it where they're taking these younger stars from AEW who have expiring contracts coming up, and they're signing them, and they are offloading their aging veteran talent to
Oh,
AEW.
I that's a fair point because we are sort of seeing that, and that's exactly what WCW did back in their day. They took a lot. I mean, they took a lot of big stars, big names, but as far as longevity, there was no long-term future to that. Whereas, yeah, the WWE is all like, well, we'll take your younger stars that have more left in the tank and roll with that. And we are sort of seeing similarities as far as because of course now Edge being the most recent to jump ship, that was more along the lines of he just wanted one more run with Christian or Christian Cage in this instance, which is fine, but now
Christian Cage, another one.
yes, Christian Cage being another one, but at the end of the day, you know, as far as longevity is concerned, you lose an Edge, but you gain a Jade Cargill. I'll take that deal any day. I love Edge, don't get me wrong, but longevity wise, Jade Cargill, she's about to enter. I don't even think age wise she's in her prime. She's just about to enter it. So she's in her, sort of like you know, pre prime right here. So like that's just a good deal. So like if you could do that and then okay, um, give up a Christian Cage, get a, I guess now Lexus King. Okay, I'll take that deal. He's young, he's vibrant. I like him. I think he's going to be something, And of course, his WWE ties with Brian Pillman. Now we got Brian Pillman Jr., aka Lexus King. So it's all like there's connections there, and we know, Brian Pillman, very underrated, guy. He could cut a promo like nobody else. It's all like in his wrestling ability. He was a complete package character. Unfortunately, his time in the wrestling ring cut shorter than unfortunately, should have been. But now we got his kid. Hopefully, has that same type of career. Not the same ending, but that same kind of career and talent. So that I think I'll take that deal any day as well. Like we're seeing this, and you're absolutely right. Like as much as we like Brian Danielson, he's longevity wise, he's not who you're gonna back anymore. As far as longevity is concerned. With that being said, WWE also let people that they shouldn't have go. I mean, we got to understand that AEW scored one of the biggest. At that time, I don't think WWE even realized. I mean, we've got Swerve Strickland. That used to be Isaiah Swerve Scott in WWE. They had this guy. He was there. He had hit row. He was on fire. And then, of course, the first purge happened. I think that was the COVID purge. Um, and we lost him, and he's just so far found his neck. So, though WWE has made mistakes, I think that was more along the lines of Vince at that point. Now, of course, Triple H is in charge. We've seen he's a lot more open, not only to younger talent and sacking from these smaller companies, but at the same time opening up with partnerships with other companies as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I think that we're gonna see more of that in the future. I'm also I am not overlooking the fact that AEW took, or not AEW, WWE took AEW's biggest star, who also happens to be one of their older veterans in CM Punk.
Yeah.
I mean, Punk is 45. What does he bring to the table in terms of wrestling? I think a lot better style suited to WWE at this point than AEW. He could slow it down.
Hmm?
maybe get a few extra years out of his career if he can, control his cult of personality.
Yeah.
And I think that could work better for him as opposed to, trying to go hard, trying to go 100 miles an hour in AEW all the time.
I can agree with that. Like as far as longevity is concerned, like I get, bringing, as I stated earlier, yeah, the CM Punk thing, bringing him like with all the controversy and all that he had in AEW, and then he shows up like that was a smart business decision. I mean, longevity wise, you're right. In WWE, they are styled because they're styled more of that. Yeah, because I mean, we've got, of course, look at what they're doing with like guys like Roman Reigns and everything. They can spread you out a little bit more. You don't have to wrestle as much in the WWE and still, get a proper amount of time in at the same time. Whereas AEW, you look at it, yeah, it's all hands on deck. Like you're wrestling pretty much almost every week, this, that. Like, so I think that's why AEW has sometimes a tendency of hitting that injury bug a lot. Um, for that reason, I'm not saying WWE's immune to it, but I think, first of all, I think WWE can afford it more because of that strategy, and and of course WWE is full of like I think AEW injury bug hurts them more than an injury bug hitting WWE because WWE still has more layers to it. They've got a more spread out system. They've sort of been doing they're starting to do what we were telling them to do years ago when they got hit with a lot of those injury bugs. Like 5, 6 years ago, we were like, they need to slow it down. They need to have a bigger roster to rotate around. They need to, and I think they're starting to do that now. And I think they're better off for it. And it allows these older guys to go longer than they probably would have elsewhere. So I think you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the next person up mentality. You can, I mean, like Randy a few years ago, him being out would be devastating to the main event scene. And now it's just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, Randy was out for all pretty much the entire year.
I think they said a year and a half. No.
And, you know, it's not like it killed the main event scene, but now he's back, and that only bolsters it even more.
Yeah. Like and it's crazy that we've not only gotten to a point because you're right. This happens what about 5, 6 years ago. We're like, oh my gosh, they just lost Randy Orton. That's about 50% of their main event scene at the time. But they've actually done a very good job at finally starting to not only make their main event scene because now, yeah, Randy Orton goes out. Okay, you still had Seth Rollins. I mean, you still had Roman Reigns. You still had Drew McIntyre. At the time, you could throw in, like Shinsuke Nakamura's, which they did a few times. Unfortunately, at the time, you had a Bray Wyatt that you threw in there. Fortunately, we don't have that option anymore. That still hurts. Um, but not only that, but on the scene, you were still at the same time. You always had the Miz you could rely on when you needed to. You've had a lot of those safe guys, and now not only that, but now we look at it now. It's all like, look at how much stronger they've boosted that mid card too. Now, at any time, Gunther, at any time you call him up to the main roster, that's fine. You just gave him killer runs. It's all like, so Gunther. It's all like, and they boosted that. They bolstered that mid card, and they finally starting to take that mid card seriously. They're starting to take the Intercontinental title seriously. The United States, like they finally started to say, okay, like that was one thing the Attitude Era gave us was they knew that a mid card, a strong mid card was just as like the wrestling wise, they're 20 times ahead of the Attitude Era. But the one thing up until this point, Attitude Era always could say, well, we had a story for everybody. We had a good mid card. We had good like I think we're starting to see that concept back just in modern term storytelling.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. And um, I feel like it's not with everybody.
Yeah.
But I also feel like it's enough to where mid carders could be boosted up to be main eventers, and then slid back down into mid card at the end. Like I think once Gunther's up in the main event, that's it for him. He's gonna be main event
He's the
spot.
main eventer guy. Yeah.
But you could easily slide somebody like you need somebody to challenge for the title, challenge Roman for the title at PLE at a PLE. Put Kofi in there. You can
Yeah.
put Kofi in there. Kofi,
Yeah.
he's a former WWE champion, so you could put him in there
Yeah.
or somebody along those lines. Speaking of Kofi, though, we also have to talk about another elephant in the room, and it would be another bolster to WWE, and that's whenever they're ready to bring him back. They could always just bring back Brock as well.
Yeah. Um. Because is he still actually? He's not even signed with the WWE anymore, right? Or
I don't believe so. No.
okay, yeah. But I'm sure if the deal is right, yeah, you can always bring back. Like you always got your I guess you could say legends that you could call to to fill in the gap for a nice little shock factor or put in it like so and that's what I'm saying like WWE has got so many guns and I think the fact that you pointed out the versatility of it all like Kofi Kingston former WWE champion also former Intercontinental champion so he could you can put him into the main card you can put him into the mid card uh, keep him in the tag team division. He's the versatility there. I want to see Xavier Woods be since he's the only New Day member to not get a world title. I'm still going for Xavier for the world title here. So hopefully we get that. But yeah, Gunther once he goes up there, like I'm loving. Look at what they're doing with Jey Uso. Like who would have thought? Somebody who's basically mastered the tag team division, all of a sudden they're like, no, I could turn this guy into a solo star if I want to, and at any time we can just get the Usos back together if we need to bolster the tag team division at any time. Okay, there you go. So now we know Jay can go out and do it. Yeet, yeet. He's over as hell right now, and he could easily be a world champion and be believable. Look at what they're doing with Santos Escobar. All of a sudden, this dude's got the most heat on everybody. He's got a lot of heat. He's a good heel, good strong mid card who could potentially be a main eventer one day if this So gosh darn it, the
Yeah,
versatility is there.
Santos Esquire is doing
He's doing an
amazing work right
amazing
now.
job. Yeah,
I think he has a little bit more to go until he's like really hated as a heel.
yeah, but he's on the
I mean,
right track.
yeah, yeah. There's a few people who have kind of gotten over in the mid card as heels and really like stuck
Yeah.
with it. Um, One person is actually where Santos, um, his old group. One person who really stuck is there being hate is actually in the old iteration of the Latino World Order, Chavo Guerrero.
Yes, that's
I
fair.
mean, nobody really liked Chavo, even though WWE tried to push it like, oh, it's Eddie's nephew.
Yeah. So like, and that was basically his whole storyline. It's Eddie's nephew. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, and they eventually used that as a storyline when they did his heel turn. Like, I'm sick of being your nephew. I'm Javo. Like,
But
um,
that's all he ended up being, and
yeah.
that's okay because like he went on to do a bunch of production stuff. I mean, he did Glow, he did um, what was the one that Stephen Amell was in on HBO?
Oh gosh, heels.
Heels, yeah.
Yeah.
Chavo did Heels choreography work. I'll have to check Iron Claw to see if he was in that or had anything to do with that. But I bet you he had some type of contributing factor in there as well.
Did he have any like with Lucha Underground and everything? I thought he was on
Oh yeah,
there a
yeah, yeah,
couple of
yeah, yeah,
times.
yeah. He was in Lucha Underground too.
Yeah. So it like yeah, this versatility was there. So I mean, it ended up working for him, and I think I and I'll go on record here. I think that in the WWE, not in the WWE, in the wrestling world, I think versatility is underappreciated for the most part. Like they might not be the biggest star in the world, but you can put them anywhere you want when you need them. It's one of them things where like we say about I guess if we want to use Christian Cage, so like we'll use him as an example. He'll never give you a 5-star match, but he'll always be consistent in giving you a watchable match. Like when you watch him, he's very conservative, but you'll enjoy it. Like as far as one on one without anybody to lean on, he'll never by himself give you a 5-star match, but he'll never give you a bad match either. You know, like that's sort of like the same with I think with versatilities. They might not be the guys that will give you your 5-star matches, but they're the guys that can get the job done. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think somebody we talk about these 5-star matches and like you'd say that not everybody could give you a 5-star match. One person who I think is severely, I don't want to say underrated because he's not, but somebody who flies under the radar is our current US champion. And let's face it,
Mm-hmm.
he has the mainstream appeal. He also is gaining the skills to back it up.
You know,
As much as you don't want to say it,
I hate how true that is, though. I'm not. I'm gonna go on record. It's all like that. In that ring, in the Logan Paul can do a lot of freaking stuff. And you are absolutely right. We've seen him now. He's the current United States champion, which generally is a mid card title. But we've also seen him do the main event scene. We saw him team with The Miz. He's done the tag team scene. You are absolutely right. This guy's versatile and he can cut a promo like nobody else. Like this guy's good.
yep.
You don't have to like him, but he's good.
And he's done boxing.
He's
He's
a boxer.
like he
Yes.
no. He's finished.
Oh yeah, that's fair. He was a boxer,
He
but
was
now
about.
yeah,
He's focusing on WWE now, which
yeah,
is that's pretty cool in and of itself. Uh, you know, he decided on his own accord that he was gonna not do boxing. He's just gonna take WWE as seriously as possible. He's not. He's setting a new standard for celebrities
yeah.
in wrestling.
It's all like, and I think to me, Logan Paul sort of had that Pat McAfee effect where at first you go in there and be like, oh no, it's just, but then all of a sudden it's all like, wait, this guy's not afraid to take the bumps. This guy's definitely taking it serious because he's got some wrestling moves here. He moves really well in the like Logan Paul moves really well in the ring. And we've seen him wrestle guys like Ricochet in that style of matchup. We've seen him wrestle Roman Reigns in that style of matchup. Like, so this guy, he's taking it seriously because he can wrestle with different styles of wrestlers. That's something that only a dedicated wrestler would be able to do. And dude can cut a promo like it's nothing. Like he's good. Like there's no you can't fake it. Like he's got that stigma of being that celebrity part timer that didn't pay his dues. That might help his heelness, and of course, what helps his heelness is, of course, his real life stuff where people just legitimately. But gosh, he's good, and he takes things. He doesn't half-ass things. You can say that about him. If there's anything you can say, he doesn't half-ass things.
No, he does not. And I think that going forward, we're gonna see more from him. A lot more improvement. He most likely. I'll have you guys jog my memory on this once we get close to award season, but he'll most likely win my most improved award.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I mean, it's a tie between him and his new best friend.
I know. It's all like and Dominic Mysterio, like, dude's on fire, man. Like, I hate how good he is. But I love it at the same time. It's all like and there goes another like things are booming. Like creatively, things are booming. Like I'll say it once and I'll say it again. That's a good time to be a wrestling fan right now. Like all the misery that we went through like the 2010s and everything and to about like I'd say 20 what 15 16 when we had that lull period, but now things we're starting to get we're starting to get sort of like our compensation for those rough years there. So it's all like, and now, yeah, things are fun. Things creatively seem to be going well. We've got multiple companies to watch. It's all like, and yeah, wrestling's fun, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see more for sure. And Survivor Series was just a step because I mean, like I said, from war games to war games and everything sandwiched in the middle. This was a well booked, well structured program, and I pretty much enjoyed all the matches that were on there. So, like,
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
me too. Of course, we had highlights like EO Sky on top of the War Games
Oh
cage
yes, with the trash can and
with the
doing her
trash can.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also had a good match between Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar, where Santos Escobar defeated Dragon Lee.
Yeah, because Carl. So is that injury? That injury's real then, isn't it?
No, no, it's
Oh, that was
kayfabe.
100% kayfabe. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually it doesn't kick you off of a PLE like that, but all right, I like it. I'm okay with it because it enhances Santo Escobar's heelness, I guess you could say, and it's all like, and like I said, yeah, Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee, I think, is going to be somebody you're going to want. I think people can need to keep an eye on for sure. They had a great introduction with him on the main roster with that. If you haven't seen the Dragon Lee Axiom match, definitely do that. It gives you that old Luchador WCW feel. I think Dragon Lee's somebody we're gonna have to keep an eye on because I think this is gonna be something that could be really big here as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we also saw. I mean, we saw the Miz against Gunther. Miz lost.
But Miz was doing Miz things, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all like, yeah,
he did a good job bumping for Gunther.
he did. And Gunther, like he's this is once in a lifetime run right here. Like he's on fire. We know it's eventually going to come to an end, but every time I think it's about to, he finds a way to hold on a little bit longer. So this is the I'm gonna even go out and say it. This could cause a lot of backlash. I believe his Intercontinental run impresses me more than Roman Reigns' world title run. To be honest with you, I'll go
Oh,
out and say it.
absolutely. No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that Gunther with the Intercontinental title is so much more better. In terms of defending it,
Yes.
I won't say in terms of storyline. I think Roman has him beat by a country mile.
It's tough to beat that bloodline storyline that they had and still somewhat doing to this day. I mean, and it's leading to, I think, the next breakout. Keep an eye on Solo Sokoa, man. Oh man, this guy's gonna be something. Solo's
He's a,
gonna be something.
they need to have like a WWE breakout tournament now,
And then
like
and
the
then he
NXT
just he
one.
just goes and runs over everybody. Guarantee you,
Yeah,
in about a year or so, this guy's gonna be the biggest baby face.
Solo Sikoa versus Logan Paul.
Oh my gosh! Then
There
they
you
just
go.
have him just go out and beat Logan Paul. He's the champ. There it is. You just got it.
No, no, he could try to give Logan the Samoan spike, and Logan, kind of gets out of it somehow. And the whole story is like Solo wants to give Logan the Samoan spike, but Logan
But he
keeps
always
getting out of
weasels
it.
his way out of it.
Yeah.
I like that. It's all like
Um,
I like that.
Speak of breakout, I mean, I don't know how you feel about her, but Zoe Stark,
I, I
uh,
I'm cool with Stark. I like
she
Stark.
she lost she lost against Rhea Ripley. Of course, Rhea defending her women's title, but
So
it was a good match. It was a good match.
it was a good match. Just got to work on just keeping her a consistent story. Get her the character build. Get her, I think, a little bit more comfortable talking. But in that ring, there's no denying she's got what it takes. I like Stark. I think that there's something there. Um, and of course, Rhea had to win, no doubt about that, because you just can't beat Mommy right now. You just can't do it.
No.
But I like Stark. I think that there's Zoe Stark's gonna be okay. We just got to work out some of the kinks. But I entrust in Triple H to get it done. So
Oh yeah, yeah, and we move on over to War Games matches. We have the baby faces
Mm,
consisting of Bianca Belair,
yes.
ugh, Charlotte Flair,
Uh,
ugh, Shotzi, and
Trey
Becky
loves
Lynch.
Shotzi, right? No.
Defeating Damage Control consisted of Bailey, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane.
I didn't like that my
Um,
girls lost.
interesting part about this. First of all, Bailey looks like a total goof
Yeah.
trying to hang out with like the three cool people.
Yes, she's like the nerd trying to hang out with the jocks.
Yeah. Second of all, she took the pin.
She did.
She took the pin. So I mean, this has to be playing into something, right? I mean, they wouldn't have her take the pin normally.
I believe you're right. Like Bailey took the pin for a reason, and I think a part of it uh, has to do with like her character. Like Bailey is dedicated, and she knew that out of the four of them, her taking the pin probably would do the least damage. Like no pun intended. To because Bailey's Bailey. I think she's fine. There's no loss that can break her at this point. Whereas especially Io, I think she would have been the most vulnerable to take the pin, especially being she's the younger one, she's the champ. You got to protect her a little bit better. But we've been sort of seeing the tease of the split for a while here, but only for them to swerve us by not having them split, sort of like that thing there. But she took the loss for a reason. You're right about that. This is going to play into something that will have to see on SmackDown because obviously we're going to get the first SmackDown after um, War Games now coming up. So we're going to sort of see the ramifications of that. Um, but you're right. There's something bigger at play here. And you protected your champ. You protected, I guess, the newly arrived Kyrie Sane a little bit there because you don't want to bring her back just to have her get, squashed or anything either. So you protected her. Asuka's Asuka. I'm glad they didn't give her the loss, and you protected what, trying to get Asuka back. Like, a part of me feels she hasn't ever recovered from tapping out to Charlotte Flair like 4 years ago. And they just haven't found that groove back. Like NXT Asuka will always be our Asuka. Um, but I think we can get her back with the right rehab work with Hunter now. And now that Kyrie Sane is back, that's another tag team you can throw in there. Like that was one thing that needed to be expanded on. You can always do that, or there's that versatility. You can have each one of them also branch out into solos. You got now a tag team or two solos that just like that you can throw in there. Um, I think that the damage control break is inevitable at this point, and it's going to be sooner rather than later. I know that they've teased it, so it's all like they've teased it so much it's not going to happen. I think they tease it so much that we think it's not going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that happening.
And then Bailey gets her redemption tour.
The Bailey Redemption Tour,
Yeah.
and then um, you know, at the other end of it, a we did have the baby faces also winning in the men's War Games match.
Yes.
Cody, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Dandy Randy Orton.
Like I said, it was so good to see Rand and like him just seeing him even after the match. They showed him like interacting with all the fans. It was so heartwarming. He was just so happy that like he was able to do it again. I think he missed it. I think he missed it a lot.
Oh, absolutely, and I think everybody missed him too.
We did. We did.
And
Daddy's home. Daddy's
of
back.
course we have the Judgment Day on the other side.
Yep.
Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dom,
Yeah.
JD McDonough, and Drew McIntyre. And JD McDonough taking the pinfall.
Wasn't it Priest? Priest took the
Was
fall,
it
didn't he?
was it Priest?
I think
Did-
Rhodes pinned Priest. I thought.
oh, okay. Yeah, I thought it was JD for whatever reason after the RKO, but okay, yeah.
No, no, yeah, yeah. The RKO did happen. You had to have the RKO spot. You just had to. But Then afterwards, I think there was because I remember texting in chat. I can't believe they had Priest take the fall
Mm.
as the Money in the Bank winner. I thought,
Oh, okay,
and I
yeah,
had
there you
that
go.
left field prediction that almost came true. I was all like, what happens if
Oh, we
Priest?
we freaked out when we saw Rhea come out with the briefcase. We're like, oh no, Buzz called it. No, no.
I was all like, "Oh my gosh, did I get it?" Like, because WWE has a fixation of doing things that's never been done before. What's never been done before? Cashing in during a War Games. It would have been so technically there'd be two matches going on at the same time. It would have been anarchy. You would have had a one-on-one match and at the same time a War Games match.
I mean, they could always do a cash in during the Royal Rumble too.
It makes you wonder.
Croy and I were trying to figure this out earlier. It's like, how much longer does Damon Priest have with that Money in the Bank? That was June, right?
Yeah, it was around. It was either June or July. It was definitely in the summertime. I think I'm pretty sure June. So he's got until then. Well, actually, let's find out. Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. Let's see here. Money in the Bank 20. He has until July 1st of
Oh, okay.
2024. So he's still got time. But yeah, it was actually July 1st in London. That was the first London Money in the Bank pay-per-view match. So he's got until then. I like as active as he's been at being foiled. Like they're definitely picking their spot. I get that, but I don't
Yeah.
see them waiting. It's gonna be pre WrestleMania. This is not lasting past WrestleMania for sure. Might even say not Royal Rumble. I think by the latest is my official prediction. But anywhere from now to the Royal Rumble, because I think they pull the trigger on Priest and see what happens. Whether it's
Mm.
against Rollins or I doubt it's against Reigns, but it makes you even wonder if he cashes in on the NXT champ too. We'll see what happens, but
Mm.
when Priest
I
cashes in, they're going with him.
I have a prediction.
All right, what's it?
Perth, Australia.
Oh, okay, okay. So, especially a home of mommy herself, so she could definitely be the hype guy for Priest in that Perth crowd.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Rhea's not gonna be able to do much when Priest is inside of an elimination chamber.
That's true. That's true. So you're okay. Okay. You think he cashes in, or does he just win the elimination chamber with the briefcase? That'd be a first. You're the champion and the briefcase holder, so if you lose, you can just cash it back in and get another shot at it.
Yeah, what happens if you cash in the Money in the Bank during that match? Are you champion by default and still have to defend it in the elimination chamber
it,
match?
it makes you wonder. Like, actually, if he was smart, if he gets eliminated from the elimination chamber, he can cash in and get like a second life at that point.
Oh my gosh, yes. Or, maybe he's not in the chamber at all.
No, that's true. Maybe he just picks
Maybe
the winner.
maybe Finn wins the chamber
Oh, could
and
he
wins the
cash in
title.
on Finn?
Yeah.
So, like, something he said he would never do? Because we know Judgment Day is not going to last forever either.
No, it's not. And at this point, I hate to say it, you everybody's losing momentum in that entire faction. Besides Damian Priest and maybe Dirty Dom and Rhea.
Yeah,
So
Rhea is beloved by the crowd. Dirty Dom is hated by the crowd, and Damian Priest has been like kind of like the standout of that group. Like just as much as he's improved since Damian Priest, we sort of seen the steppings like the turning point with his Bad Bunny stuff, and then we sort of seen but Damian Priest definitely found a groove once Judgment Day started happening, and now you can sort of see the confidence in him now at the same time.
Yeah, he's also one of those guys that just he's ready for the main event scene,
He's the
but
guy.
the main event scene right now is very full. I
There's a
mean,
lot going on right now. Yeah.
yeah, I can't see Damian Priest in the same place as Seth Rollins. I can't see him
Not
like
yet.
that.
Not yet.
No, no, that's the thing. Like maybe you could get a upper mid card Damian Priest versus Cody match at a pay per view.
Yeah.
Like you could do stuff like that, and it will still make sense. But I don't see him being like that main event draw right now yet. But if if Judgment Day goes the way it's going, it's gonna dip Finn a little bit. It already has. I mean,
Yeah.
in my mind, he does not have much momentum left.
I think he's sort of like it's one of them things where you're right. Like Finn in there, he's just sort of oh look he's there,
Yeah.
like for a while there it looked like like he's not even like acknowledged as like the undisputed leader like he kind of was like after he took it over from Edge and you saw that so like as far as Finn yeah he's sort of lost that spark he's sort of like the sidekick now instead of the main character.
We wish Finn Balor the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Yeah. Oh, I still love Finn, and I think he's one of them people that once again, versatility. You can put him where you need him. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing by Finn, for sure. Like Finn is somebody you want on your side.
Yeah, but if this is the way it's gonna go, and Judgment Day, it's only gonna get over by one or two people.
Yeah.
Like at this point, just ride the hot hand. Have Damian be the person that gets over in that group.
And it seems like that's sort of like the signs that we're seeing. It's seeing that because they're just as far as Dirty Dom, they're just running it while they have it. There, like people love to boo him. Like everybody else talks, you can hear him. Damien starts talking, boo boo. Like it's something about those Guerreros. Let me tell you, no, but
Oh gosh.
yeah, but no, yeah, it's sort of seeing that. But Damian Priest, you can definitely tell that they've been using him as the focal point as when the faction ends, he's the one that's going to benefit the most out of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I just hope it stays that way because I'd hate to have it where the faction ends and nobody benefits.
And then that's just like what 2 years wasted at that
Yeah,
point.
I'd rather. mm, I love Finn, and I always will.
Yeah,
But at this point, I'd rather have it to where Damien gets over at the expense of Finn, as opposed to nobody getting over at all.
yeah. So we
Which,
need something out of it. Yeah.
yeah, that's a danger of happening. That is absolutely a danger of happening.
If you're not careful, that's factions can be very good or very bad. Like it can really catapult somebody or it can ruin somebody. Just got to be careful. I think obviously Judgment Day was something that started in, I guess we could say, the first Triple H era, then brought into the Vince McMahon era, then the Triple H era, then the Vince McMahon second era. Now it's back into Triple H's second era, now the Endeavor era. So it's sort of gone through some different style changes as well. So we just gotta keep it focused. You gotta make sure that you're putting the attention on the right people. Like you said, we love Finn, but I think Finn is also a character you can easily rehab if you need to. Whereas, like you ain't doing much more damage to Finn that's already been done. When Vince basically didn't give him his shot after he dislocated his shoulder, when he became the first Universal champ, people forget he was the first Universal champion by beating Seth Rollins, and you know he's never really gotten to that point since. Um, it seemed like there was times where we're getting him back to that point, only for the rug to get pulled under him. So there's not too much more damage you can do to Finn. Like you said, he's pretty much where he's at. You're right. Damian Priest is your vulnerable spot right here. You got to be careful because you got a star right here now. You can easily have a star right here. He's definitely improved with his talking. He's definitely gotten more confident with that. He's definitely gotten more confident in the ring. We've got a star here, so you got to be very delicate how you use them now. You like that. What I said about factions, that Money in the Bank briefcase is also a very volatile thing. It can make or break you easily. So we've seen people not recover from failed cash in attempts, and we've also seen
Sandow.
Damian Sandell. You know, of course, Baron Corbin being, I think, the first one to actually lose. John Cena was the first to not win the title, to capture the title, but he still won the match. But Baron Corbin was the first one to lose. But Corbin was Corbin. That was, he was the safe bet. But we've also seen that briefcase make a lot of things happen. So it's all like, we got to remember, I think Seth Rollins' first world title main event run was a cash in at WrestleMania in what was deemed the Trey Fuckery cash in.
That's absolute
It was
bullshit. That's the Connor Stallions
the
of
Connor
fucking
Stallions.
WrestleMania moments.
Here's the inside man. They saw it coming, and now the briefcase is on Damian Priest. We got to utilize that right. We got to protect this guy now because we'll go back to that longevity argument. This is a young guy. This is the guy you want to build a future around here. The other guys, they're Finn's aging. We love him, but he's aging. He's not. He's still got years left in the tank. Don't get me wrong, but as far as longevity, he doesn't have decades left in the tank like Damian Priest could here. So, you know, we
Oh
got
yeah,
to protect him now. We got to be careful. This is sort of a tipping point either way. We can tip him in the right direction and pour out a lot of goodness, or it could fall back and spill all over you. It's all like we got to be careful.
yeah. Don't do that stupid thing of where you take the Money in the Bank briefcase, give it to a guy, and then you're like, he can afford the loss.
Yeah. Gosh darn it, we've seen that. We've seen that. We've seen the afford to loss concept go so wrong for so many people.
Yeah, at this point though, I don't think that Triple H is gonna allow that.
And that's one thing I can say. I'm more confident in Triple H's creative era than I would have been in Vince McMahon's creative era.
Yep. As we move away from it, what was your final rating as a cumulative effort for Survivor Series?
I will say, like I said, from start to finish, even without the CM Punk return at the end, this was a solid pay per view. I will give this a strong 3 out of 5. Throw in the Punk surprise at the end. I'll give it an entire half. I'll make this a 4 out of 5 event.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 as well. I think that like we were talking about it at the end, like you were saying. There was a part where Crow goes, where they flashed up the logo and it's like Crow went, "Oh, okay, well I guess they're ending it." And that was fun. That was a fun pay per view. Well, I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Punk came out, and it's like all of a sudden it took it into another gear.
Yeah.
And so, even with that though, everybody seems to have enjoyed Survivor Series for what it was. And I know you weren't there on Saturday, but we ended up watching the Hunter part of the press conference as well,
he I love Triple H press conferences. I think he does press conferences so well.
where he's like, at the beginning he did that whole like thing that he would do normally, where you get the Triple H humor where he's like,
Yeah.
all right everybody, we're gonna just address the elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
Big return tonight. I know everybody has questions about it. We'll get to it in a minute, but I just want to say that it's been a long time coming. We're all glad our truth is back,
Yeah.
and the entire press, all the press there was just cheering for
This
him.
sure, yes. We love our truth, dude. Like, I don't think people understand how much we love and adore our truth,
He's the absolute best.
like
He is, and
he is.
he tweeted out this morning. He goes, "Don't worry, Finn. I got you. I got you." And it's a picture of our truth with goo gone.
He just does comedy right.
He's like 53 as well. He doesn't need to wrestle. He needs to wrestle like once a year.
Yeah,
Otherwise, he's just a character on TV, and it's amazing
it's
because this
amazing.
guy has just been on our television screen the past 30 years almost.
It's all like, yeah, crazy to think about. It's all like
Yeah,
he's just there to have fun at this point and give us a laugh, and he's just so damn good at it.
yeah. 20 years ago, he would have just about been the NWA World Champion at this point in time.
Yeah, it's all
Oh
like
God, that was 20 years
that was
ago.
20 years ago. I mean,
Oh
and
Jesus
it's crazy to
Christ.
think like this guy's been everywhere. He's wrestled everywhere. Like he's been around the wrestling game for a really long time. It doesn't feel like it because time's just going by so damn fast. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. Like, yeah, 20 years ago he was, and he's to the point where I think we don't. Yeah, like you said, we don't need him. We just need him on our TV to just do his thing. And I know he's what like a producer type, road agent type, or something like that as well. Like he's not a full time wrestler, which is he doesn't need to be. But gosh darn it, we enjoy the times we get when we get to see that man on our television.
Yes, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Anything else you want to talk about before we get on out of here for today?
Just the fact that Survivor Series, obviously a lot of questions to be answered. It's all like we're getting a lot of returns, a lot of excitement. It's all like it's just a great time to be a wrestling fan. Like Survivor Series opened the door, and of course AEW still doing AEW things over there. Signing. They keep getting the signings, of course, with the blockbuster signing of Will Ospreay, something worthy to be saying this is a major announcement, a major signing. So um,
Thank God.
yeah, Tony Khan delivered on that one. Um, yeah, it makes me wonder. So because I don't think he was on at least I did see the Triple H segment, but I am curious to hear CM Punk's first press conference in the WWE as well.
Oh, I don't think that he's gonna be allowed in a press conference room for a long time.
You think he's on a press conference probation ban there or something like that or
Well, we'd be more than happy to have you back, but I don't think that you're gonna be allowed in any press conferences, pal. Might be something we have to iron out.
iron
Iron.
but
All
as
right,
far
let's.
as that, I think it's yeah, I think that's all I got for the day. So like welcome back Randy as well. So like a lot of returns, a lot of things to look forward to for next week.
Yep, yep. We will look forward to it, and we will talk to everybody next week. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this edition of the Bay Podcast. Thank you, Buzz.
Thank you, Trey.
You can find us always on Facebook.com/The Bay Podcast. On Twitter, we are at The Bay Podcast. Buzz, where can people find you?
So like they can find me at the Level Up Gamer.
And you can find me at underscore EGTV. Aaron's at Aaron Dean VO. Crow is at Austin underscore Calvillo. And remember, kids, if you think that you've seen it all, CM Punk just comes out at the end of Survivor Series and rejoins WWE. Have
Yeah,
a week, everybody.
that's fair. That sounds